Okay, journals, reports. It can be from newspapers. It can be from documentaries. It can be from annual reports from somewhere that you follow, and as well as from website resources. And don't forget about the textbook. Okay, textbooks are very important. Yeah, because those are what we call as established knowledge. Okay, textbook are established knowledge. So people usually we always like tend to refer to journals, but we forgot to consider textbook. Yeah, so textbook is very important to refer as a benchmark, because most of the time this is the science that already established, and then there are written rules, there are written science behind it. So it's a must for you to refer to textbook. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is about publishing. So yeah, it's very difficult, especially if you want to publish literatures or review papers in good journals. It's very difficult. And then, so reviewing, of course, when I mentioned just now about managing your paper. So how are you going to manage your resources? Okay. Someone, when I attended before, they use Excel, means that they put the date, the author, and then the title of the resources that you referring to. If it is journal, it's journal. If it is reports, if it is from textbook or from reference book. So you have to manage it first. Okay. And of course you start to read. Okay. So when you manage means that you know today you are reading this A journal. And usually for us who are doing research based, okay, regardless if if you are doing master dissertation, or if you are doing PhD or master by research, you have to do this. It means you have to keep track of what you read. Okay. So from journal A, which you have put the information, the resources from whatsoever, and then you highlight what information that day that you want to get. For example, if you plan that day by reading journal A, B, C, and D, and you wish to compare about methods only, preparation methods only. So you can skip through the introduction whatsoever, but you just glimpse through, and then you focus on method, and then you look at the results a bit. And then journal B, you glimpse through the introduction whatsoever, and then you focus on the preparation of the same material, and then you look at the results. So what I'm saying is you don't have to read all. Okay. For me, like, you don't have to read everything that day, the same journal, because you are going to read the journal again. Or journal, I'm referring to journal. Journal means that it might be reports, it might be textbook, reference book, okay? But most of the time I will refer to journal, because depends on what focus that you want to read to that day. Let's say, as I mentioned, you want to focus to compare on preparation method. Then you focus on that section. Of course, you have to read a bit on introductions and results, because it has to be like make sense. But your focus is on the method section. Okay. As I mentioned, you keep it, and then you have to, of course, skim through the journals. If you think that that journal is good, then you keep it. and probably you read it and you think that does not suits you. Okay, it does not suits you, then might as well you leave it first. You put it in another priority, means it's a secondary or another level. It's not your primary journals. Okay, I usually sort my journal based on priority. Okay, this is priority number one, which you think really suits what you want to find out, and then you have the rest secondary, tertiary. Okay, because that has to be done. Means that you need to evaluate the literatures. You cannot like read everything because you can. We are not artificial intelligence. We are human being. That's why now people are developing apps because they are using artificial intelligence to crunch all the informations. But we are human being, so we have to manually evaluate the literature. So you have to skim through and then sort. Okay, this is going to be my prime reference journals, and this is secondary, and so on, whatnot. And then even then, you have to focus, as I mentioned, you want to know about methods today. So you just focus on methods. Okay, the next day, probably you want to focus on a comparison of starting materials, for example. Okay, it uses what? Uh, chemical A, and then journal B uses chemical B, whatever. So you do that based on scope, okay, method scope, material scope. And then you have to crunch all those informations and put it down in a way that you want it to tell the people this is what you have known about the problem. Okay, so you can see that, of course, in reviewing process, it's not just like taking the informations from the journals and put it down, taking it and put it down in your literature review. You have to critically read it because you want to, I think first is for you to sort the journals based on your priority. And then you have to read it based on the scope that you want to focus on. Okay. And after you have crunched all the and digest all the informations, now you can start to write based on the scope. Okay. When I say scope, means that I will show you an example when I say scope just now. Okay. Facts presentation, and you can also as put the weaknesses, the advantages. Okay, this is where you put your uh, point of views, what you think about, and then in conclusion that you prefer to use this method, and you prefer to use material A, for example, and then you back your conclusion with all the signs that you understood, all the reference book or the textbook that you have read. So imagine that this is the process that you have to do, writing a literature review. So it's difficult. Personally, for me, this is the most difficult part, okay? Because you have to do it when you are doing your proposal. And in the end, when you write your thesis, or whether it's short thesis or full thesis, this is something that you have to do again and again. Okay, so this is difficult. Proposal, because you want to know about the gap. So you still have to write some literatures. But for thesis part, it's going to be a full-blown literature review. Okay. And if you choose to write a review paper, and you are doing the same process. Okay. Okay. As I mentioned, the best way, for me, the best way to learn how to write literature review in thesis or in proposal is looking at the examples. Okay. So if you wish to write review papers, it's good to read reviews, a lot of reviews from good journals. Okay. So by now, I think you know which one is good journals. You know already about the Q1. Well, next week somebody will help you on the um, web browsing for journals, AI. Okay. So I have asked somebody to talk about it. Okay. So, but I hope that it will give you some ideas of what prestigious journals. But I think you know already there are what you call journals are classified into quartiles. There are Q1, Q2. So Q1, of course, is the best, and then 5% Q1 is the best journals and whatnot. So you have to know, and you have to try your best to get to read those reviews in prestigious journals. Yeah. And then look at some samples of good theses. So you have to evaluate the thesis that you read. You might get some examples from your seniors or from the previous published thesis. You can read through, but you need to differentiate. There are some good ones. There are some not so good ones. So you have to use the good examples. Okay. So what is actually literature review in detail? Establish the terms. Okay, terms and context means that if you are writing about nanomaterials, for example, and of course you have to like talk about the nanomaterials in your literature review. If you're talking about a supercapacitor, for example, then of course you have to establish the supercapacitor information in the literature review. So usually what we do is we start from general one to the detail one, not to say detail, specific one. Okay, so if talking about you're developing a supercapacitor material, of course, in the beginning you start to talk about supercapacitor, and then in the along the process, you will talk about the what kind of supercapacitor you are focusing on. You're focusing on carbon base, waste from waste, or so those kind of things you will narrow down. Okay, so not too much, because literature is not like from sea to sky. So you have to know to manage your information, relevant and related information. Okay, presents a survey of preceding literature. How else? Okay, means that this is the one that I mentioned a few times. What already is known or is done in that particular area that you wish to improve, that you wish to solve. So this is something that from the reading, you can crunch the numbers, you can build a bar chart, you can do table to list down what people have done, and then you discuss about the table, like researchers A, B, C, D has done it using this kind of methods and achieve these results. But there are some what you call as room for improvement, because, for example, they have not achieved a yield of 90%. The yield is still relatively low, 50%, for example. So these are based on your understanding from your reading. So you crunch you digest all the information and you comment it on the whole achievement by the previous researchers, for example. Okay. How else will you select an appropriate method and approach? Okay, this is from the second part also. You can come out, okay, which method probably suits you, or you, as you mentioned, as I mentioned, you have a better idea in improving. You have a better idea to solve that issue. Then what method and what approach that you think from your reading will be suitable. Okay, so outline relationship of this text. Okay, of course, when you write, it has to be like a story form. Sorry, it has to flow nicely. When you read a storybooks, okay, I don't know, some of you love storybook probably. When you evaluate the story, whether it is good or not, is based on the flow as well, right? If the story goes very nice, it's not like it ends very nice. It might be a sad story, but the storytelling is very good. Okay, so writing a literature is like a storytelling. So you have to, and you need to have a skill of storytelling. Okay, so it's like telling people, you are talking to people. You start from the general part, and then you go detail, and then you go specific, and people would like to listen to you because it's so interesting. Okay, the story is so interesting. So that's how you should write a literature review, as well as chapter 4 in your thesis. Okay. Establish the gaps. So this is, you are highlighting the room for improvement, the weaknesses, because based on your reading, you understand now that there are, of course, previously you understand there are gaps, there are problems, but now you understand it well, and you can point out in terms of with science, okay, with scientific evidence that this gaps is real, this problem is real. Okay, so it's not just hearsay, it's not just rumors, but it's scientifically proven based on your analysis. The gap is real, and the problem is real, and it requires some improvement. Okay. All right. So this one is just, so this is a whole thing that you can use to write a good literature review, if it is for proposal or for your thesis later. Okay. So literature review is very important because once you have done this, okay, once you have done a good literature review, you are going to use it to support your chapter 4. Okay, that's why I'm going to revisit this part during your thesis section. Okay, because in research methodology, it's not just proposal, it's going to be your thesis write-up as well. Okay, so the gap in the literature is a justification for your research. Okay, so this one is like a repeat of what we have discussed last week. Okay, this is just to share with you the way we write. Okay, how do you comment critically? How do you? That's why I say some people just summarize. Some do a very critical write-up. Okay, so this is what we call as critical thinking skill. Okay, because in research or in doing scientific discovery, some people create, some people evaluate, some people analyze, some people just apply whatever what we have people has done. So you can use this just to, this is just for sharing. It's not for you to be in any section, yeah? All right. So as a guide, because some people ask, what is the scope when you're doing masters? What is the scope that when you are doing PhD? Okay. Yeah, because certain universities, not all, okay, undergraduate usually is a training for you to start research. Okay, it's basically a training. Sometimes your research are good. Okay, it's fine. Backing your points up if appropriate. Usually, for those of you, because you have gone through this one, so I know that you should know what is undergraduate level. So master's level, soon you're going to do your short dissertation. So by rights, master's level is to show how you have understood all the knowledge that we have discussed. For example, you have gone to classes like what do you call atomic spectroscopy, GCMS. So this is the time that you demonstrate, okay, whatever that the technology or the instrumentation or the knowledge from that particular class to be in the dissertation form. Okay, let's say you have a small project using HPLC, chromatography. So now, by doing a short project, you put it into reports, and then show the reports should be showing that you understand the knowledge from the subject that you have taken. Okay, so PhD, demonstrating that you can create new, not to say totally new. It's difficult when you talk about totally new. No, we are improving. We are what do you call? Uh, yeah, most of the time it's improving. I can't find the other word. Improving the existing methods, or try to come up additional uh, material on top of the old material being used. Usually that is PhD level. Unless you are doing a PhD in MIT, and then probably you are doing something new. MIT, Harvard, or Oxford, Imperial, probably you have good, support. You have good, you have unlimited financial. Then you can do something new. All right. Professional, academic, peer review, building a coherent body of work of your own. Okay, probably this is another level. When you're already established academician, probably, then the critical thinking or the scope that you're working on probably different. Okay, so just some points to share with you. Reading, when you read the papers, okay, what are the things that you want to take it out? Okay, what were the research aims? Definitely you have to know that. Is there any problem with their methodology? Because most of the time when you read, this is what you're targeting, the method section. Was it strong or weak research model? Okay, so you can evaluate by this level. If you have read a lot, you can judge the paper. By just keeping through, okay, this is a good paper. So that's why I said you have to categorize your paper first. I'm not saying that some papers is not good at all, but you just put it probably secondary or tertiary, for example. And then what can you take from it? What needs to be avoided? Okay, what does it mean? What needs to be avoided? Because when you read good papers, okay, this is the difference between good papers and not so good papers. Good papers, they're a bit of honesty. I mean, they are being honest. Okay, there are some limitations that they themselves cannot solve, and they are told, they are written in the papers. Some limitations. okay, this observation is based on what? And due to some limitations, so they are being honest. Usually, good papers will do that. This is my observation. If it is not really a good paper, they tend to like cover it up and just telling good things about what they have obtained. Okay, so this is something very useful, because if you know about some weaknesses, then you have the opportunity to avoid it. You will not do it because you know somebody has warned you it's not going to work if you do this. Right? That's what you want to obtain also from journals. And then now is your innovation. Okay, what are you going to do differently from the previous one? Okay, so this is something that should be in your mind while reading the journals, okay, the textbook or the reports, okay. Textbook usually it is established, so we don't really question the textbook. So you have to focus. You don't actually read from word number one until the final word, because even if you read everything, you will not be able to crunch. So you have to, I call it segmentize the informations that you want on that particular day. If you that week you want to know about methods, then you read about methods, do comparisons about methods. Okay. So this is again, I would like to remind you, okay, when you read scientific information, especially if it is from reports or newspapers, okay, when scientists report, yeah, when we talk to the journalists or the reporters, okay, scientists, it's difficult to say about is it going to 100% work. We never say 100%, okay. So this is what usually our reporting says, okay, we have a specific numbers. Okay, so in this case, somebody said we destroyed 10% of the cancer cells, and it is very specific in a lab rat's tail. But when the journal or the journalists report, okay, in newspapers especially, or they want to report it in magazines, for example, the title must be bombastic. So cancer cured. You can see there is a big difference between magazines, okay, newspapers, okay, with scientific reports. So you have to caution yourself when you read, because sometimes journals, even scientific journals as well, they tend to be over I don't know, over claim or something, because we have to be realistic. What are the achievement in science? We have to be real. Okay, if it is 80%, then it's 80%. If it is just 1%, then tell it is 1%. So if you read good journals, this is something that you can find. It is supposed to be a very specific kind of information. Yeah, not bombastic or overclaimed. All right. So please, you have to make sure that you can identify this kind of information from reports. Yeah. Okay. And once you have the relevant, okay, again, this is the question that you can ask from the journals or resources. Okay. And I mentioned about organizing your material just now. So this one I should not repeat. Okay. And also, I have mentioned before that we can have disputes. Okay. I usually have disputes. No worry. When I become, for example, examiner for Viva for PhD students, for master students, I'll be a bit lenient. For PhD students, I'm very critical. For those of you, I don't know whether you, well, some people are afraid of me, but I'm very critical in evaluating PhD's Viva session. So, but I still have, like when I mentioned, we can have disputes. I mean, the candidate can disagree with me, I can disagree with her, no hard feeling, because we believe in certain principles of science, but the candidate also have a good knowledge on certain principle of science. So we can have disputes in science, yeah? No worry. Okay, as you can see from here, from this side, he saw 4, but from this side, he saw 3. So I don't know. So I'm not saying that there are some basic knowledge in science that we agree. Okay, like the world, the world is not flat. The world, the earth is not flat. The earth is, it has been scientifically evidence from the pictures. Okay, but people still have dispute that the earth is flat. But that one, yeah. It's not for us to debate, but what I'm saying, that there are rooms for disputes in scientific research. So for those of you who has probably experience in writing some scientific articles, and there are reviewers, and those reviewers might dispute, not means that they don't agree with your conclusion, they don't agree with your discussion, so that is quite normal. So no issue. So that's why it is okay for us to write a literature review and expressing your own thoughts in literatures. Okay, this one is a repeat. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss this, because this is going to be your during your thesis section. Means that this is a proper write up of your chapter 2. So I'm not going to discuss this. Okay, later we will discuss. All right. Now I'm going to share the part that we're supposed to discuss today, which is on the okay. Just a moment, yeah. Which is on the presentation parts. Okay. So we have, right. If you have any question, please, yeah, stop me. Okay, this is what I promised last week. So I hope that this is going to be a bit of discussion. Means for those of you who are comfortable now, who's not driving or whatsoever, we can have discussion, okay, on the concept of powerful presentation. So because this is very what we call relative. Because sometimes people think about, okay, this is PowerPoint presentation, but sometimes the perception of the individuals is different. Sometimes if we look at it, it's a simple presentation, but very meaningful for certain people, but less meaningful for the others. So it's a perception. Yeah, it is always about perception. So that's why whenever that you are going to present, this is based on my experience, or this is totally based on my experience. You have to do some homework. One, you have to know who's going to listen to you. Okay, who's going to listen to you? Okay, who are going to be your audience? Because they are the one who's going to have the perception. Okay, So if the scientists, then you have to um, you know, really know your science. But if they are laymen, then you cannot use complicated science. You have to use layman terms like more pictures, more comparisons in daily life so that people understand. So you really have to know who's going to be your audience, who's going to listen to you, because they come with certain perception. Okay, so that's why for me, it's not about powerful presentation. I would prefer to use meaningful presentation. So how meaningful the presentation to that particular audience, we have to change accordingly. We have to tailor the presentation accordingly. And remember, they are human being, regardless. We're not presenting to AI. We're not presenting to I don't know, a robot. Is AI. Okay, we're presenting to human. So we need to tell them a good story. Okay, regardless if they are scientists, then we have to tell the story in a scientific manner. If they are laymen, then you have to tell a good story based on layman's term. Okay, you have to use nice language, means that your slides or your presentation, you have to take care about your grammar, your spelling, your formats. If you're showing them your slides, you have to be careful on that, because because I have evaluated a lot of presentations. When you look at the slides, because people tend to use slides because that's much easier, but you actually don't want them to look at your slides. You want the audience to look at you, actually. So the slides are just supposed to be helping you, because it's, let's say you forgot about things, then you can just like okay, there's some more important points that you have not delivered to them. But if you like really want to show the slides and there are grammatical errors, there are spelling errors, or the format is very, the fonts are not balanced, the fonts are too big, sometimes the fonts are too small. It's actually very, what we call as, I forgot the word, irritating. To tell you the truth, it's very irritating looking at the slides with spelling error, grammatical errors, the fonts not balanced, the colors ridiculous. Okay, you have to take care of this. Okay, whenever that you want to present, this is very important. Okay, people love something beautiful, something clean, not so bright, not so many colors. Okay, this is something that you have to learn by yourself. But the minimum that you can do, the grammatical part, the spelling part, at least you get it right. Okay. Now, of course, novelty. Okay, this is something that not to say, if you really want to take someone's money, if you really want to ask someone's money, and they are very experienced people, okay, so you have to tell them a new idea, your novel, your original idea. Okay, so I'm not saying this for your master dissertation or for your PhD. There is a bit of novelty that we are looking at, but if you wish to get money, let's say to invest in your company, then you must have original idea, novel ideas. Okay, you look at their eyes and you tell them, you know yourself whether you are taking someone else's idea or you are recycling someone else's idea. Okay, but this is not a must. As I mentioned, this is not a must for you for your PhD or for your master dissertation, because that is something acceptable if you recycle some ideas. Okay. Now, when you present, okay, Okay. The most important is for you to really understand what you want to achieve. Okay. You have done all the readings, you have done a clear objective in your proposal. You really know, okay, you really know what you want to aim, what you want to achieve. So if you really know that, and I'm talking to someone, and I really want my, for example, tuberculosis, TB test kit to be in the market, I will show all my, what do you call, motivation, whatsoever, talking about what I want to be in the market, what I want to be uh, in the market soon, and I want to be it in used by the people soon. And I really put that motivations to my audience. Okay, so this is, you are clear, you are very clear about the goal that you wish to achieve. Okay, because you knew already in your heart that this is what you want to achieve. So it's not like you memorize, you actually knew it, uh, what you want to achieve. It's not like you reading your first objective is what your second objective, but you really know what you are targeting at. Okay. And then if you are again proposing for money as a team, as a team, uh, of course, if your project is with related to IT, you need to have IT people. So this one is easy for you to understand. You need to have a good and sufficient experts in your team. So this actually slide is for me to tell people about grant application, but this one also can be used for your proposal, because if you are to put co-supervisory, okay, especially for PhD, if you are requesting a co-supervisory team, because it's not just your supervisor, you have second supervisor, third supervisor, and your project is across the boundary. For example, you have IT section, you have a material section, then you need to have experts in material and you need to have experts in IT as well. So that shows up in your supervisory team. Okay. All right. Trendy. I think this is something that you need to know if you're asking money from the government. Now people talking about food security and energy. So if you are working on food security and energy, that will be trendy. Energy means green energy, renewable energy, no more petroleums. Then you should know about that. Okay. Question before we move on a bit more. Questions? Everything's all right?
No, Prof, how we know that the
Ah.
journals or the article is a high quality journal or articles?
Okay. Right. That one, because as I mentioned, I hope next week this particular lecturer will tell you. But journals are divided into tiers. Tiers means that you can check in the website whether the journals are Q1, quartile 1, quartile 2, 3, and 4. I'm not saying the Q4 is not good, but you can always skim through. Okay, of course, the Q1 is good. And then even in the Q1, quarter one, also we have 5% Q1, 10%, top 10% Q1. But of course, you know, when you get paper from Nature, from this actually depends on your area. For example, if I'm working on biosensor, so I would always try my best to refer to biosensors and bio biosensors journal, okay, a good one. So that depends on your area. But as a guide, the quartile system is very useful for you to know which journal is prestige, which journal is less prestige. Okay, Zara. You can Google that information. Okay.
Yep, okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. If you have any more question, just stop me. Okay. What I'm sharing here is the tools. Yeah. This is basic tools. That I went for this course before. This is by Stanford. Yeah, they have a team training researchers to bring out their ideas from lab to the markets. Okay, so this is quite easy for you to use because, of course, when we want to get people's money to apply for grant, you have to pitch. Means that you have to present to people, and the presentation time usually is very limited. You only have like 5 minutes to talk about, so you have to really get the audience attention. Okay, so this is what we call as presentation phase. Yeah, this is the maximum one. Your pitch should last no longer than 8 minutes. Okay, usually this is the practice. Okay, and we can divide uh, the presentation or the pitch. You can see 8 minutes. You start with hook. Okay, I will tell you what is hook later. The first 24 seconds, even though it is just 24 seconds, but this is the most difficult one. And this is very important because this is the time you grab your listeners' attention. And then you have 1 minute plus to tell about the problem. Remember, we have talked about the statement, problem statement. So this is where you are trying to convince people this is what you need. This is what the society needs. This is what the world needs. Okay, that kind of thing. And then you can see that 4 minutes, the biggest portion goes to the science, the method, or the experimental design. Means that how are you going to do that? How are you going to solve the problem that you mentioned just now? So this is what people would like to see. What is the innovative step? What is the innovation that you are going to present? If you are recycling someone's idea and the listeners are experts, then they don't want to listen to you because they heard enough. Okay, so you must be careful. Even though you want to talk about science, you have to make sure that the listeners are expert in that particular field, or they're just scientists, they're not particular in that particular field. So you have to um, improvise your presentation. Okay, and then of course benefits. Okay, what people benefit? Cost reduction, or society living in harmony. Okay, you have to give them the benefit. Okay, because just now is problem, and then this is your innovation. What are the benefits? Who's going to get it? Okay, is it just the company getting dollars and cents? Yeah, I mean, can be that. Okay, and you also have to highlight competition. Somebody has done it, okay, but you are doing it better, and then you are proposing a better, much cost reductive, for example, or user friendly, or like you don't have to go to hospitals, or okay, you don't have to get out, or let's say you are from Sabah remote area, you don't have to come to KL to get the treatment, for example. You don't have to come to get out from your house. You can do everything from your house, those kind of things, for example. And then you can also talk about risk, but usually we don't talk about it because we usually don't want to talk about the negative things about our project. Okay. Sometimes, okay, conclusion, summing up of all is just like a bang. Because you only have 8 minutes, you have to design a bang Okay, bang means that something explosive for the audience to remember your presentation. As I mentioned, the hook is difficult. Also, the bang is also difficult. Okay. Now we have a few minutes. Questions before we discuss this, or we take a break, because in the next section, from 8 to 9, yeah, there will be group presentations, right? Not to say presentation, sharing ideas of the 5, Group 1, Mendeley, Group 2, Grammarly, Group 3, Research Rabbit, which is very good, Group 4, Connected Papers, and Group 5, Killbot. Okay, so from 8 to 9, I hope that we can finish these group presentations, group sharings, okay? It can be any group starts first. And if I cannot, let's say, complete this week, we are going to continue next week or the week after. But presentation phase, please try to digest this first. Okay. So I'm going to talk detail probably on the starting from the hook, before the needs, and so on. Okay, so we take a break. It's actually I'm the one who need a break. Okay, bye-bye. Take a break first.
Doctor, Prof,
Yeah.
we come back at 8, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
As
bro.
usual. Thank you. Not necessarily group 1 first. Any group can start first. Volunteer.
Good evening, doctor. I will start first. Group 2. My name is Navitro. Choosing Grammarly. So I will share my screen first.
Okay, please.
Okay, doctor. Can you see my screen? Okay, I will do my presentation. So Grammarly is a app, is a website launched in 2009 by Alex, Max, and Lider, available as a standalone application to be used as a desktop programs, browser extension, or now even available as app. So the pricing starts with free, free, and then we have also paid plans like $11 and business for 12 ringgit 50 cent per month. So the key features of Grammarly works with majority of online tools like Word, Slack. It also functions as a plagiarism checker tool and tone detector. A writing enhancement tool will save you a ton of time and effort doing this dreaded task. Apart from basic spell checking and corrections, Grammarly includes a grammar checker, a punctuation checker, and a vocabulary enhancer, and even a plagiarism checker too. So when you log into Grammarly, you can use your Google Gmail also. So it will pop up something like this, which you can try in Words or Gmail or even in your Outlook. So it will bring you through an introduction of its website lah. So once you're inside of the Grammarly, there's your account will be shown something like this. I can even show you guys this one. So this is my Grammarly. Can everybody see? So this is my Grammarly account. So what I've done here is I've uploaded one of my essays in here. So in this Grammarly, it will detect all these spelling mistakes. Now it's loading, I think. Okay. So it will detect all these spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. For example, it will give you suggestions. Example, it will also score your overall essay lah. Like for this overall essay, I scored around 79%. So it will give a suggestion. For example, how you can correct your essays, the clarity and engagement, how to make your essay more interesting. So when you accept the correction, it will automatically auto corrects. So whichever there's a grammar mistakes or spelling mistake, you can automatically correct over here. And then you can download the edited essay. So next is, for example, I can show you in Outlook, for example. Okay, maybe here. Okay. If you can see, there's a pop-up of a small widget over here. So it will show you, for example, you type something mistake. Okay, for example,
I think it's not moving, is it?
dot finish.
Yeah, we still see the boxes. I don't know about the others.
Now I'm in my
You
email.
want to share another screen?
Doctor, can you see my screen?
I see your screen, but
Just your
it's
PowerPoint.
yeah, Ahmed, you can.
You are sharing your PowerPoint.
You cannot see my screen, is it? Right now I'm in Adobe.
Yeah, yeah, it's add up.
Okay. Okay, just now, Doctor, I show you my email. Can you see my screen just now?
Okay, we see boxes.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we see features, boxes inside Grammarly.
yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. So then that's correct.
Okay. Okay, just now I showed the Grammarly browser extension. Can you see this one?
Can you point it?
This, Doctor. The application of surface chemistry, this one.
Yeah, I see your essay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just now I explained, or do I have to explain myself again?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So this is the inside of the Grammarly AI tool. So it will correct your spellings, your grammars. So anything can just autocorrect here and just have to accept the correct. After it autocorrects, you can just download the edited file.
Does it give you sentences, suggestions, like, or it's just grammars?
So far, what have seen is giving me grammars and words.
Not sentences.
Yeah, not sentences.
Is
Maybe if there's a lot more mistake, maybe it will give you a sentence, I think.
okay.
Yes.
So this one is free features or paid features?
Yes, the one I'm using is free features. So when so it will ask you to download a browser extension. So whenever you write an email or you WhatsApp someone, it also suggests if there's a grammatical error or spelling mistakes in your sentence.
But right now I don't know. Sorry, question, Avitra, because if you write in words as well, they are auto correctors, right?
Yes, doctor. But
Yeah.
sometimes we don't know, like some people don't know if there's an autocorrect in Word
Yeah.
or yeah. So
Uh-huh.
we can use this type of tools lah.
Yeah, it's good to explore. Probably the paid version they offer
Yeah.
more. Yeah. Question from any of you? Okay, thank you, Navitra. All right, thank
Okay.
you. Right. Okay, can we move on? So Navitra is from group 2. Any group can start?
Can group 3 present?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Lily, can you present first? Sorry, Prof, because you have 3 presenters because we already
Alright.
divided. Lily
Fine.
at the intro and the rest is just on the part. Yeah, hi Lily.
Yeah.
Oh, oh. Hello everyone, I'm Lily from Group 3. Before I start today's sharing, I would like to ask you some questions. If you have encountered the following problems when searching for the literatures. Question 1. Are you still thinking about where to search for literatures? Question 2. Are you still thinking about where to find documents by the same authors? If you have these doubles, come here quickly and take a look at this amazing tool, Research Rabbit. Now Zara, and Siddhartha will introduce this practical tool to you from the following 3 parts together. Let's begin. Research Rabbit is an AI startup founded in 2022. The main development team members of this tool are as follows: Ali Smith, Bob Johnson, Carol Lee, and Dan Williams. And the Carol Lee is the lead engineer. Research Rabbit mainly has the following functions: document search, relationship visualization, and box your research. That can help us retrieve relevant information faster and more accurately. Then it will generate relationship diagrams automatically, like this, to help us to visualize the key information. On top of that, it's free. Is attractive to me. 然后 there is a Chinese proverb: talking without practice is fake. So how to use this searches tool? How can this searches tool be more useful? Next, my teammates will show you. Let's try it out. Hi, Zara.
Yeah, thank you, Lily.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Lily. I will show how to log in to the apps. Maybe Lily can stop present
Stop
first.
share.
Sorry, I don't know how to use screen sharing.
I
No.
try to, I think I can, I try to share.
Zara.
You all can see?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I can see.
Okay, this is the apps. So I already I already sign in. So it like Lily mentioned, it's free. So you can sign up. So my one, I already log in. So this is the app.
Zawa, we cannot hear you.
I'm looking
Okay.
on WHO now. So the category is here. So we create a new collection if you want to. So I put WHO pre-qualification. Okay, then I put qualification. Then okay, now we can add the papers. So if you have a primary paper, you can put here. So to me, I don't have any. I can search, or there is a button here to upload from your journal. But I don't have any experience on that. But what I can do, I just search WHO. That is example. Hopefully come out. I'm working on the WHO pre-qualification. Anybody have experience, maybe can share with me as well. So all the paper come out. So this is on the top here is the author, the year. If this is the abstract, if I want to put inside my collection just now, I just put add in and go through. Let's say I just put in. And so it's depend on our, let's say, project. So we can add in. Okay, it's done. Let's say that off for me. Then you can see it's here. Then this is the year. And the year, here is the authors. And you can see here, I put the tick on comment. You can put comment here. It's, let's say, first paper. Then you can put a comment there. And if you don't want to see the comment, you can put take out, and you can see also the abstract. So all the abstract here. Then with that, you can see this author, what else they have. And the good thing is also in the top, there is a similar paper, similar works that done. But this part, my colleagues, Sanjita will present. So that is how we get the paper, then the relevant paper. So yeah, thank you. Maybe Sanjita.
So, before that, any like the system can do comparison. This one is based on later, earlier, right?
Yes, later and earlier. This one actually, that is under Sanjita Wishu, but actually, all the citation and cited paper will appear as well. And with the year and the time when is the paper is come out, and some of the paper we can also get the PDF. Like this one, there is a PDF. Some is not appear. So we have all the relevant cited papers is in one apps.
Yeah.
So I think Sanjita will share with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Zawa.
Thank you.
You see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Lily and Zawa. So yeah, basically, Zawa's already explained most of it. So what is the most exciting of this is the similar work. Sorry, like she showed. So I've chosen one research which is on microplastics in sewage sludge. So you can see there's 984 similar work done. And basically, I think the name rabbit, research rabbit is literally, going down the rabbit hole, but in a virtual way. So you can see all the different publications, citations done, 411 on this topic, references linked to it, 46, and similar work, which is 984. So what makes Research Rabbit a powerful tool, like what was mentioned, it is actually no cost at all. And as you compare with other, similar tools that are out there, like lit maps, I think there is also connected papers and all, there is a fee that's involved, while Research Rabbit is totally free of charge. And at least one, no maximum number, at least one person can use it. And the network and timeline maps can be viewed by authors or publications, and maps can toggle between all citations and references and similar work, like what we showed here. Okay, so if you go into this, you can see that it's not appearing. Yeah. And then you can also link the content to other similar work done. Like you see here, humans are pooping plastic, and no one's certain how bad that is. And then suggested authors for the similar work, as well as what the same author has done in various other topics. So again, I think it's a very powerful tool. And there's also an integration of Research Rabbit with another program called Zotero. We're not going to touch deep into that, but there is an app of such that can also help you to import and export, vice versa, between Research Rabbit and Zotero to Research Rabbit. Okay, That's all from me.
Alright. Thank you so much. Any question from others towards the members of this group? Okay, no question. Thank you so much, Group 3. Yeah, I think very useful, Research Rabbit. I'm not used to it. Not during my time. All right, next one.
Yeah, bro, I can.
Okay, Ahmad, you are presenting for
Mendeley.
group?
Group one.
Mendeley, all right, okay. Um,
Okay, hello everyone. Today we will talk about app that we can use it when we need to, that we can, it can help us to research or in our project. It's called Mendeley. What is Mendeley? Mendeley is a reference manager and social network for academic that can simplify reference management for workflow. Collaborate online and find the most recent research and also a free web and desktop reference management application. Sorry, this one also. What Mendeley can be used for? We can use Mendeley for many things that can help us, like store, organize, and search all the references from just one library. Automatically generate bibliographies. Bibliographies mean a list, or bibliographies mean a list of often with the descriptive or crucial notes of writings relating to a particular subject, period, or author. Similarly, insert reference and bibliographies into the Microsoft Word documents using Mendeley site. Before collaborate easily with other researchers online by sharing references and ideas. And also easily import papers from other research software. Find relevant papers based on what the reader is reading, and access the papers from anywhere online. And the last, read and highlight and annotate PDFs and keep all your thoughts across multiple documents in one place. The thing that can features of Mendeley on the others app is I can mention 3 points. First point is unique options for organizing and annotating PDFs. Second point, integrates with the Word, Open Office, and BibTeX. Point number 3, options to scan and collaborate across multiple computers and with multiple people. How to use Mendeley? Actually, I tried to download Mendeley on my computer, but I think there are some problem with my computer that I couldn't actually use it. But my friend helped me and sent this some information to me to just explain by this picture. This picture shows us how to use Mendeley step by step. First, number one, this point number one, it used to add files, new enters to your Mendeley library, and second folders called folders menu. Use this the added folder button to create a new folder to organize your Mendeley library. This will create a folder within whatever you're currently viewing. If used on all documents, it will create a new top level folder. If used on exciting folder, it will create an instead folder with the current folder as the parent. Three, scan. Use this button to force Mendeley to perform a scan. This will push any chance you made to your library up to the cloud for storage, marking them available on other devices and computers. Button number this for search, of course. This used use this file to search your Mendeley library. Note that Mendeley desktop search function is context specific, performing search while viewing a particular folder will only search within that folder. Make sure all documents is selected if you want to search your entire library. Maybe I will take a long time to finish. Bob, can I or?
I think it's okay. The rest can be explored by the members. Yeah. So
But I don't want to ask you take a long time because that. But I
yeah.
can finish.
But it's okay.
Yes.
I mean, the rest can be explored by the members. I think the best highlight here is you have to use this for your written proposal because you're going to refer to a lot of references and you cite them in the text as well as you have to list it in bibliography, which is actually, if you do it manually, is going to be very time consuming. So Mendeley is a good tool, but I'm not sure whether it's free. But UPM provided RefWorks. So
Not
all
for
students.
free, all for free, but some can do something, just a few things with it.
Okay. You as a student, as a registered students, you can access RefWorks. You can download that software from UPM. You are entitled. So I'm not sure whether it works like Mendeley, but the purpose of having RefWorks and Mendeley is of course to organize your reference and your citations. So thank you, Ahmad. Yeah.
Thank you.
And group, I think it's group 2, right?
Group 1.
Okay, group 1. Group 1, sorry. So next one. Thank you so much.
Hi, doctor.
Yeah.
I'm from group 5.
Okay. Please.
Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, this is Quillbot, which is mainly known for a paraphraser. So, but now there are new features in Quillbot, which are grammar checker, plagiarism checker, summarizer, and citation generator. So how to use it? It's easy. Just we paste the text, which I just copy, which, sorry. Which is regarding the nanomaterial. We just copy and paste the text here. All we need just to click on the paraphrase and it can paraphrase the words for us. Other than the standard mode, you can use fluency, formal, academic, simple, creative, expand, and shorten. But mostly we use standard as it will keep the original meaning to it. And these are the paraphrase text. If you want to change certain words, in case they're giving the different meaning or the words is not suitable, you can just click any of the words like this one. I'm just giving example. You can change any of the words or you can change manually by your own if you have suitable words in your mind. And that's this. And that's it for the paraphraser. Next, we're moving to the grammar checker. Same thing, we just need to paste the text. They will give the error over here. You can change it manually or the easy way, just click on the fix error and they can fix it for you. Like this. That's for the grammar checker. We're moving to the plagiarism checker. This one is same as Turnitin, but I prefer to use Turnitin because this one only give you 20 pages to use. So I'm not going to explain on this one. Next, for the co-writer, they have this on Quillbot where you can use this tool at the same pages. So you don't need to change to use this and this and this. You can use all of these features in one page.
All right.
Next, we're moving to the summarizer. This is the same text that I use. And you can have the summarize over here. The one that already summarized. And if you want to summarize in key points, they can point out to you using this button, the key sentences, and it will come out like this. And lastly, for the citation generator, all you need to do is just find any articles from anywhere, like this one. I just need to copy this one. Wait. I just need to copy this one and paste here and click cite. This is the article just now, and it will give you the full citation with the in-text citation. You can change the citation style here, but I'm using APA as it is the common one. I guess that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabila. Okay. Very useful, I think. Because just now, Grammarly, that's why I don't know whether this one has to the tools for doing paraphrase, summarize some points. I think which is good in helping you. Okay, as well as a citation generator. Question from the others? I think we have one more group, right? Connected papers.
Can I ask something about the Quillbot? I think I have used it before, but there is limited use when it comes if you're not subscribing it, I guess. I think limited words, limited the thing that you can use. only if you subscribe. So may I know on the subscription again? If I don't think so. Nabila mentioned just now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, okay.
Yes, for this one I'm explaining is the paid version. For the free version, they only like wait, for this one, it always up to only 250 words, and they only give you to use the standard modes instead of others.
So this is your own premium, Nabila.
Yes, I'm explaining the premium because it have more features.
So I mean, if you can spend some money, is good. I mean, it makes things easier for you. All right, any more questions? Okay, if there is no more question, thank you, Nabila. Can we move on to the final group?
Yes, I will be presenting. Okay, so I will be presenting connected papers. I think this is more or less the same with Research Rabbit earlier. Okay, but I will guide you in exploring on the website itself. Okay, so I think most of you have the same experience as me, as when we put in our keywords for our research area in our search engine, it will always come out like thousands and millions of search results that later on we need to choose the primary paper and then eliminate those that we do not want. So that, for me, that's sort of wasting time back in those days. So what connected papers actually help us, it enhances our experience by it creates a graph of similar documents or similar articles or journals that is relevant to our research area. It is sort of gather similar resources and then in a way of a visual graph, or I would say more like my map for me. Okay, so what you are seeing here on your screen is the interface of connected papers. All right, so it's very simple. So what you do is usually you would put your keywords that you want to find. So let's say today I do on sewage water analysis. Okay, and then just click view on graph. Okay, so it will show you the results that is related to the keywords. Okay, so usually we would search the first paper that is definitely most interest to us. So for today, probably I would choose the one with 87 citations for here. Oh yeah, but that's one disadvantage of using connected papers is that we have to pay if you want to use more than 5 graphs. So last week when I was exploring connected papers, I actually used up to 5 times in creating the graphs in exploring. So I could not no longer exploit anymore. But what I can do is I can just use from my history. Just okay, so yeah, so from this is my history from the connected papers last week. So I choose one paper from the search result earlier. I choose one paper. So what you are seeing here, this is the origin paper that I use. So it shows here, let me just zoom in and zoom out for you. Okay, so these dots or notes are showing us the related or similar articles involving sewage water quality monitoring framework. Okay, and let me explain to you what these dots, the colors, the intensity of the colors, and as well the sizes of the dots mean. The intensity of the colors, the darker color shows the most recent works or published works. And like over here, Jindal 2017, quite recent. And if you look here, this is lighter color. That means it's back way in 2009. And then in terms of the sizes of the dots, or they call it notes actually, the larger it is, that means it is highly cited. The paper is highly cited. Smaller size of dot probably less cited. Okay, and then let me just zoom in and zoom out for you so that you guys can see. Okay, if you are seeing here, some of these dots, they are being clustered. You see, they are being clustered in one place, some are not. Okay, the clustering means that they are the resemblance of each other. They are almost similar papers, okay, and probably those they are not clustered together may be a little bit different in terms of the topic, but still under sewage water quality analysis. Okay, so that is in terms of looking at the graph. Okay, so over here in this interface, they have these derivative works and prior works that we can toggle on. So if we click on derivative works, okay, so derivative works are actually papers that cited many of the papers in the graph. Okay, so we actually can toggle the years, 2021, maybe the most recent ones, and then in terms of the citations. Okay, so this is derivative works. Prior works are papers over here, are papers that were mostly, that most commonly cited by the papers in the graph. Okay, and again, you can toggle for the years and also number of citations. Okay, so for example here, let's say I go back to my origin paper here, and the topic, the title is showing over here on the right hand side, and we can read a little bit on it. I think short abstract on it, and we can actually choose which platform that we want to open the papers in. For example, you can open it from Semantic Scholar, publish a page, or Google Scholar. Okay, for example, I open it up in Semantic Scholar. Okay, and then yeah, so if you can view it on Springer, or later on you can you open it on Springer. I don't think I have access to Springer currently, but yeah, right, yeah, this is oh, you can open it. Okay, so this is the papers, and again, it has this function. If you want to cite the papers, so you can just click cite, and then you can just choose EP style, and then just copy that and then paste it in your write-up. Yeah, I think in terms of that, yeah, it's just that it has subscription that you need to pay if you want to go for more graphs in a month, because right now they are limiting to only 5 graphs in a month for the free version. Yeah, I think that's it, Prof.
All right. Thank you, Hidayah. Any questions? I think we can see that some of the softwares are, complementing to each other, and some have the same features. So it's up to you to explore. Well, during my time is more on manual searching, but I managed to finish my PhD on time with 2 kids. Okay, so now that you have all sorts of softwares that can help you managing your literatures, I think your quality of write-up should be much better. All right, thank you so much, everybody. It has been a successful sharing, and now it's already 1:40. Okay, so I just want to share back on one part of the NABC just now, just one. Okay, because next week will be an invited lecture from someone still on this software topics. Well, I rely on younger lecturers because I'm not an expert in that. I'm not good in that. So I have invited someone. Should be next week. You can ask question because he's a fellow researcher. So he has done all those AI things. So hopefully next week you can have questions for him. So today I would like to end with one subtopic in an ABC, which is the hook. Okay, So as I mentioned, this is not something rules or regulations. This is just experience sharing. So hook just now is about engaging people, and you want to capture their attention because that's the first thing that you want to do when you're presenting. You want to capture the attention. It's not always slides. It's not always about statistics, but you want them to look at you. You want them to look at you. And as I mentioned, they are human being and they are with this with different perspective, and they have expectations. So of course you have to do your homework first. Who's going to be your audience, or who's going to evaluate you, who's going to give you marks or whatsoever? You have to know that prior to your presentation. So assuming that you have done your homework, and another thing is, it is very important to know the setup, okay? Because setup means the location. How is it going to be? Where is the microphone? Where are you going to stand? Where is the whiteboard? Or you are going to project slide? So you need to know where to stand, where your slide will be, because you don't want to stand in the middle of your slide. And if you are to use mics, where the place, those are seems little things, but those are things that makes you professional. You already know where to stand, and then you know you can be confident to engage to the audience because they perceive you as it is. They don't study. Probably some of them might study you first, but most of the time the audience don't study. You have to study the audience. Okay. So when you need to hook people, what are the things that you can share with them? This is my question to all of you. What can you do to hook people? Well, I have to.
Body language, physical not physical. Yeah, body language must be good.
Okay, of course, yeah, they will look at you if you have. But when you starting your presentation, you have this hook. There are different kind of hook that you can use. So what are those? Yeah, you can just give your idea. I believe that, yeah, Zawa.
The different introduction maybe.
Okay, types of
the
introduction.
yeah.
Usually you introduce yourself, your name, right?
Yeah.
Your name, and this is what I want to present, the title for today. Okay, so what are other things that you can do apart from that?
Maybe
maybe we
Asma. Yeah.
maybe we could change we can put more energy into our voice, so
Yeah.
that people will pay attention to us.
Okay. That is during probably, but the beginning, because hook is at the beginning.
Prof, may I try?
Yeah, Sharini.
Maybe bombard questions to ponder, like give them
Okay.
questions to think, maybe.
Yeah, question is a good thing. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. There's no right or wrong. Yeah, questions. Yeah.
Maybe simple games. Some simple games.
Sorry, Lily. Can you repeat that?
Maybe simple games. Play games.
Simple games. Okay. I hope that you can have, I mean, if you have a long time, then okay. But if you have like 8 minutes or 5 minutes pitching session, then you have to be like, bang. No, okay. As I mentioned just now, it does not have to be a loud voice, but you want to attract attention by giving them something very, what we call, significant, Like, depends on what you are presenting. If you have a very good story, you tell a story. Story means that, like, for example, you show a picture, okay? A picture that really grab attention of the people. And then you tell the story of that picture. Okay, you have to rehearse, you have to rehearse your presentation. So within the first, 20 seconds, you have a pop-up, the slide with a picture, and then you tell a story behind the picture, and you tell them, because you have rehearsed so many times, it's like, giving them your your heart and soul about the picture, about the story. So people look at you, okay, there's something about the picture, right? I mean, that's, you can try. And then imagine that. So that's the first task, is getting the attention to you. Now you start presenting, means that telling about yourself. You are what? Participant number one. You are what? Going to compete as a competitor number one, for example. And now, since they has opened their eyes and look at you, you start to give your ideas. Okay, so it can be story, it can be pictures with stories that captures the eyes of the audience, or it can be statistic, or it can be newspapers, or you can just like, let's say you are in a competition where you cannot have slides. So what can you do? You can bring pictures, or you can bring whatever gadgets that you can show, but unlikely. Usually they give you um, chances to have to show your slides, because presenting without slide is very difficult. It's very difficult. But if you have like prototypes, then you can show the prototypes. You can imagine. You can be very creative during hook. The first, I remember, it's 24 seconds, I think. Is very, very crucial when you are trying to present. Well, I understand if you are presenting your proposal for PhD, for masters, this is not really a crucial, because the evaluator will have to listen to you because we are evaluating. But if you put it in a different situation, you want to win. You really want to get the money, or you really want to have the reputation, then it's the same steps. You have to grab them. You have to hook them. And remember, hook is about who's the audience. How are you going to win their heart? How are you going to bring the attention to you? Okay? So you can be very creative. It's about storytelling. It's about jokes. If you're good at jokes, please don't try if you're not good at it. You might be a laughing stock, but it's not from your joke. Okay, you can show pictures that tell people. Okay, so these are things that you can use. Okay, so this is about hook. Okay, and then next week or a week after, we're going to discuss about how to discuss about the NABC in detail, and probably we can look at certain videos of examples, how people use this NABC, because if you actually go back after this, you're already back at home. You can look at science communicator, okay, because if you're talking about science, it's very difficult, especially if you're talking about a very difficult science principles. You're talking about drug delivery, let's say. You're talking about targeted drug delivery, but you want to make it very interesting so that the layman, wow, look at you, okay. Yeah, this is very exciting, for example. Okay. If you're talking about dollars and cents, all those, I mean, it does really interest people. But we're talking about hard sciences, it's very difficult to get people excited. So that's the challenge as science communicator. All right. So we're not just proposing, we also as science communicator in a way. All right. I think I shall meet you. Next week I'll be in, of course, together with the invited lectures, and as well as the week after. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Have a good rest. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
Prof.
All right.